Ready?
Yeah.
Hi, I'm Josh.
I'm Andrew.
Welcome to Head to Head Sports. So Super Bowl was yesterday.
Yep. And I predicted that the Seahawks were going to win based on their defense, and I was 100% correct. What do you have to say for yourself?
I have to say that you were correct, but that being said, I do not think that the Denver Broncos even showed up.
Nope.
They were beat at halftime. They had a chance to win before they came out onto the field.
At 2 points. That's when it all started. Didn't Peyton Manning break the record for most completions with 33 or something like that?
34.
34.
He broke it.
He broke it,
But
Drew
he
Brees'
finished at
record.
34.
Yeah. And I think every time he passed the ball, it was 3 yards or less. That's how far he threw the ball. I mean,
He averaged 5.7.
Yeah.
5.7.
Or he wasn't even.
It wasn't Peyton Manning.
No.
He had none. I don't think he had any over 40. Usually, he had a few. I think it was 7 of those over the season. He had 40-yard passes. He had, I think, 1 over 20. I think the only bright spot for the Broncos is probably Demaryius Thomas. He played pretty solid.
Yeah, they said that he was a record. I don't know what the record was, but he was adding on to his record. So
yeah, the most caught passes
in the postseason, I guess.
Denver's rushing was absolutely
Horrible,
awful.
Oh yeah. So was the Seahawks. Seahawks didn't do anything, but they totaled for 135 yards. So I mean, they were able to get some yards on the ground, but
The team, there was 14 carries for the Broncos and they averaged 1.9. They had 27 rushing yards.
that's awful.
That's extremely bad.
That's
And only 279 for passing yards for Peyton Manning. That's not Peyton Manning.
no, not at all. And he
You
had
might
2
expect that.
interceptions, touchdown, 2 interceptions, I believe.
Yeah, and he sacked.
Oh,
The pressure was awful. It seemed every single play he was getting hit.
didn't have enough time.
No.
And the Seahawks defense just destroyed the Broncos offense and their wide receivers. The receivers couldn't get open at all.
One of the most dominant defensive performances.
By far. I think the score was 30 or 43 or 48 to 8 or something like that.
As a fan, if you saw that Super Bowl and you weren't a fan of either team, what would you grade that Super Bowl?
Oh, F. It was awful. I would have turned it off after the first quarter, but as an analysis like me, I have to watch the entire game. But it was awful. The halftime show was short. Commercials were awful. I mean, there was a couple commercials that were funny, like the Tim Tebow ones. But what was going on with the Super Bowl? The commercials were all about cars and it was crap. I didn't like it.
One more question about this before we move on to our next topic. If you were able to give someone else the MVP besides the linebacker who won it, who would you give it to?
I would give it to the Seahawks defense. I didn't believe that one person in general should have won it, but it is MVP. I would have given it to the Seahawks defense overall.
All right, our next topic is Johnny Manziel.
Yep.
And the best fit for him.
Yes.
Where would you like to start that off with?
I'm gonna stick with the Texans. I just like him in Texas. I feel that Texas is the fit for him, even though most people predict he's gonna go with the Browns for some reason, because I guess they don't believe he's #1 material, first draft pick. But what do you feel on that?
The best fit, in my opinion, if I could see Johnny Manziel in any uniform, being a huge Dallas fan and a huge A&M fan all by his side, I think I'd like to see him in a Vikings uniform with Adrian Peterson. Their read option would be so unstoppable because you have the best running back in the game and you have one of the most elusive quarterbacks of all time. And he has Patterson, a big play receiver, Greg Jennings, another big play receiver, and they have nothing but talent. You can't really get much worse if you're the Vikings. And I just think that would provide such a spark to their fans are very loyal.
Mm-hmm.
They've been through a lot. And I don't know, I just see Johnny Manziel as he could bring life into that organization.
Now, weren't the Vikings trying to get no, I guess not, a new stadium or something? Isn't their stadium pretty old?
I don't
know. I think I was reading something about the stadium being, they were trying to, I can't remember.
If you had to give
what it was.
another team besides Texans, who would it be? Just as a fan, you'd like to see him go there. It doesn't
As a
have to be
fan.
for a reason.
See, what teams did awful this year? Chiefs is good. As a fan, I like to see him in a New York jersey, New York Giants.
Really?
Yes.
Wow.
I would love to see how he gets treated up in New York. I'd love to see that. That's where I put him if I was a fan.
Okay.
New York Giants.
And our last question of the day, this is nothing. You don't have to pull stats or anything. Just as a fan, you just got the head coaching job at the Texans, and you decided Matt Schaub is going to be your guy. Who else do you draft? If you have Andre Johnson, you have that breakout receiver. The name is slipping me right now, but he had a great rookie season, and you have Aaron Foster. Who do you draft? Do you look for?
Clowney. He's Texas defense was awful, especially due to the fact that they had a lot of injuries, and it was altogether Texans sucked. Let's just be honest. But if their offense is healthy, they're good enough to win without Johnny Manziel being their quarterback. So I believe Clowney would be the best fit. They make their defense even more of a threat. If you put him next to J.J. Watt, it's gonna be dangerous.
And if you had the number 2 pick or number 3, and you're the Jacksonville Jaguars, who do you want? If you don't, you're gonna stick with your quarterback you have, and you don't get Clowney. Who besides quarterback and Clowney, who would you want? Sammy Watkins or?
I don't know, honestly. Jaguars are one of those teams that just no matter what pick they pick, they're awful. I think there's
a lot of upside. They played with intensity.
They did. They beat the Texans. I'll admit they beat the Texans. It's pretty bad, but I think they beat them twice too.
Safe to say that this is the best team to ever have a first round pick.
Yes.
The first round pick.
Yes, it is.
Definitely.
Hopefully they turn the season around next year, and I think they got this year they got the new score or the screen bigger than the Dallas Cowboys. That didn't help. They're just trying to host the Super Bowl in the next couple of years, but hopefully they can put some stars on that screen.
We'll see how Alliance Stadium, how games are played there this year. Well, that's about all the time we have. I'm Josh.
I'm Andrew.
Thanks for watching. All right, we're gonna do this one on your computer.